So I've got up here and I've preached a lot of positive stuff. I've preached motivation and emotional stuff like that, but I've never truly preached on something that I think is really overlooked in not just the Baptist church, but any church in general, and that's sin. See, I've always wondered necessarily what causes sin. Why is there sin? The short answer, people say, well, Eve ate the forbidden fruit. That's why we have sin. But that's not the reason I'm looking for it. What I want to know is what causes it, why we have it, and what causes us to fall short every single day. So before I get into Scripture, I'm going to say a word of prayer. We'll get started. Heavenly Father, I come to you now and pray, Lord, and I thank you for this day, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I ask you to fill me, Lord, and let this be your words, not my words. I love you, church, and I thank you for everything you say and do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
So I'm going to be preaching out of 1 John chapter 2, verses 15 through 18. I'll give y'all a minute to turn there. And the reason I'm picking this particular passage is, like I said, I want to know why we sin. Why do we sin every single day? What causes that? There has to be a cause. I mean, you don't just do it. There has to be a reason behind it. The whole purpose of science is proving why something exists. But science can tell you how something happens, but not why it happens. And I'm getting into this to show you why sin happens. So I'm going to go ahead and read the Scripture. Scripture says, "Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but of the world. And the world is passing away in the lust of it, but he who does the will of God abides forever." The truth about this scripture can be very point blank. A lot of times people spend countless hours and countless times debating what scripture means. They want to know the interpretation of it, how it can be used in this context, how it can be used in that context. And they argue a lot about it. But truth be told, a lot of scripture is really point blank when you look at it. A lot of it can be just taken as is, and people don't even realize it. They want to tear it apart. Well, this is one of the very blunt scriptures to me, because it's straight to the point. There's no interpretation, I think, that is needed. It is very point blank, cut dry what it means. So getting on to the first part, it says, "Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him." What is the world? What does that mean when it says the world? Do not love the world. What is the world? Don't answer, just ask yourself that question. What is the world? Does it mean necessarily nature? Does it mean the people in it? What does it mean? Well, truth be told, the world, what John is meaning right here when he says this, the world is not nature. That's not what he means when he says this. The world is not the people of the world. Did I break something? Okay. Scripture says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son." That's referring to the people. It's not talking about people either, guys. When he says, "Do not love the world," we're supposed to love our neighbors. We're supposed to love the world. We should love nature and enjoy the idea of the things of nature, everything that's in it, the beautiful roses, the mountaintops. That's not what Scripture is referring to. What the world is humanity, the ways of the world, the ways in which we present ourselves and act. That's what the world means. So when it says "do not love the world," it's not saying you shouldn't love the people of the world. It's not saying you shouldn't love sports. It's not saying that. What it is saying is do not love the ways of the world, the sinful ways of the world, is what it's saying. Loving the world does not mean that you're looking outside and just thinking, "Wow, I love the roses. Wow, I love the sunset." That's not what Scripture is referring to right here. So, it point blank says the love of the Father is not in him. When it goes on to say, we've established what the world is. We've established that that's the ways of the world. So if the love of the Father is not in him, why do we still do it? Why do a lot of times we still do it? I've said this every time. I've said this a few times to a lot of people, is that you can have other things before God. When it says you have other things before God, that doesn't necessarily mean another God. Guys, that can be your television set. That can be sometimes, in some cases, your job. That can be, I love going to the gym. That can be the gym. That can be anything that you put before God. Isn't like an idol. And see, a lot of people don't seem to realize that. They say, oh, well, I'm not worshiping the golden calf like they did in the Old Testament. I'm not worshiping and bowing down to this thing. Well, guys, if it's in front of God, that's exactly what you're doing.
Amen.
So the ways of this world, that's what it all is. The ways of the world means that you're putting things before God. The ways of the world is literally Satan trying to persuade you and trying to motivate you and move you away from God's word and what it means. That's the entire idea of it. So, going on to the next scripture, this is where I want to spend most of my time, is where it says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but of the world. What does the word lust mean? When it says right here, what is lust? What exactly is lust? Looking at the definition of lust, I came up with a bunch of ones, but I decided to rewrite it myself. And my definition is when we can no longer control a desire, it becomes lust, which in form becomes sin. So when you can no longer control the desire, guys, we're going to have desires. Like I was using earlier, I love to go to the gym. I desire to lift more. But when I put it before God, when I start using that, it becomes a form of lust. And guys, that's sin. Lust is literally sin. And people don't want to admit that because they think that when you're lusting over something, as long as you're not doing it, that's all it is. But guys, if worrying is a sin and all these other things are sin, that means this is too. Lust is just as much a sin as killing, as stealing. That's exactly what lust is. It's a sin. So I asked you guys, basically, what is sin? Why do we sin? What causes it? What is sin? This right here, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, that's what causes it. These three things in unison or sometimes even separate, that is what causes sin. That is the underlying cause in the basic form that is sin. So what is the sin? What is the best definition of sin you can come up with? Most of the time when I've asked people this, they say, oh, it's falling short of the glory of God. Oh, sin is, I stole something one time, and that's a form of sin. That is not what sin is. The best definition that I could find on sin came from a man named Landon Scott. Now, his definition to me is the best I've ever heard was sin, and I'm going to read it to you. Landon Scott says, sin is any thought, word, desire, action, or omission of action contrary to the law of God or defective when compared to it. Alright? One more time. Any thought, word, desire, action, or omission of action contrary to the law of God or defective when compared to it. I love that definition. I think that is the best definition I've ever heard of sin. It hits all of it. I mean, any thought, like I'm saying, lust, think of something, word, desire, action. Guys, that's stuff we do every day. That's the best definition I can put of sin because we want to say it's falling short of the glory of God. When you do these things, when you have any thought, word, action, you're falling short of the glory of God. That's what it is. That is what sin is. While it is falling short of the glory of God, guys, this is the best broken down definition I can give you on it. Let's go on. Let's move on. So, I want to ask you guys, what is the lust of the flesh? What is the flesh? What is the lust that the flesh has? Think about it for a second. What is the lust of the flesh? Get an idea in your mind. Lust of the flesh is temptation to feel physical pleasure from sinful activity. Basically, it makes the flesh happy. That's basically what it is. It's to satisfy the flesh, the desires of the flesh. So what does that mean? Why is it such a sin we're all fleshly. We're all living in this flesh. Why is that a sin? Why is lust of the flesh so bad? Just give you some examples that are sexual sins, sex before marriage, gossip, pornography. Guys, these are lusts of the flesh. Your body desires that. Your body, you have a natural instinct. When someone's talking about something, you want to know what it is. You hear a lot of people say, I just mind my own business. I don't believe anyone truly minds their own business. They want to know somewhere, they have some sort of thought or desire that they want to know something, that what you're talking about. Sexual sin, sex before marriage. The Bible clearly says not to do that. And this one right here, this is going to be another one of my examples of pornography. Guys, pornography is such a major thing nowadays. It is the fastest growing industry in the world. I seen a survey, I forget, Trey actually told me, they taught him this at camp, I forget what it was called, what the camp was called, and Snowbird. They taught him at Snowbird that I think it was 79% of the men in the church struggle with pornography addiction. In the church. That's 79% of the church, guys. What is it on the outside? What is it for the people who are lost who are not in the church? Guys, pornography is a major thing because it's easy access. Nowadays, you can access pornography just by Googling something like that. And you have access to it. On the hundreds of free websites, hundreds of different things you can do. It's a lust of the flesh, guys. It is a problem because it causes you to have all these ungodly thoughts. We said sin is any thought. There's one like that. It causes you to think like that. And that's a problem because when you're giving into the flesh, you're not giving into God. And the truth be told, guys, that's where you need to be putting all your faith, putting all your desires in, is God. And what He has to offer. I promise you, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart for anybody listening, there is nothing in this world, there is no addiction, there's no drug, there's nothing in the world that will ever give you the high that God does.
Amen.
There is no satisfaction you can ever find that will ever give you the satisfaction God does. We say that lust of the flesh is satisfying the flesh. Guys, God does that so much better than any of this ever will. Because this is permissible. The world is fading away. God does not fade away. Moving on to the next part. Paul uses a great example of this. I'm not going to go too much into it, but in Galatians, he gives a list of ideas of works of the flesh that does not inherit the kingdom of God. And I was going to read it, but I decided against it because it goes on into saying that you will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. Well, why do you not inherit the kingdom of heaven if you're given into the works of the flesh and the lust of the flesh? Why is that? Because Scripture says right here that the love of the Father is not in you. If you're giving into the lust of the flesh on a daily basis, there is no change, there is no conviction, there is no idea, you're giving in. Guys, the love of the Father is not in you. I'm not here trying to make you feel down. I'm not here trying to tell you that, oh, you're not saved or anything like that. That's between you and God. What I'm here to tell you is that there has to be a change. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There has to be a change. You have to stop giving into the flesh. My grandfather preached a sermon one time that you cannot serve God and you cannot serve the devil at the same time. It was about the scripture in Matthew says where you cannot serve God and two masters. You cannot serve two masters. And it used the example of God and money. But guys, you don't have to just serve money. You can serve, like I was saying with pornography, you could put these things before God, and guys, you're serving the flesh at that point. When my grandfather delivered that sermon, it really hit home with me because I thought about it like, wow, we give in a lot. More than we think we do. Moving on. Next part that I want to get you guys to listen to is the lust of the eyes. Now, this one is very dangerous. The temptation of the lust of the eyes. What is the lust of the eyes? What is that?
You see something you want.
You see something you want. The way I put it is the temptation to look upon things we shouldn't. People automatically want to jump to, just looking at another man's wife or looking at somebody else's spouse. That's that. But guys, it goes deeper than that. You can look on somebody's possessions and want it. You can look on, like I was saying, you can look on somebody's wife. Another one, like I was saying, I was going to get deeper into pornography. To look at something that you desire. That's lust of the flesh and it's lust of the eyes. I said at the beginning that sometimes these things act separate, but a lot of times they act together. And that's one of the cases. Pornography is one of the cases that it acts together. The lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes are together on that. And that's what makes pornography so addictive and such a problem, is because it's not just one thing you got to deal with. You got to deal with two. You have to deal with lust with different types, different parts of your body, different desires in your heart. You got to deal with that. And that's what makes pornography so addictive. I'm going to turn to 2 Samuel right here, real quick. 2 Samuel, this is a case, one of the most famous cases in the Bible of lust of the eyes. I'm sure you guys know Bathsheba. I'm sure you guys know it. King David. I preached a sermon on David and Goliath before. Well, this is later on in David's life. David is a king now. He is at the throne. He's high, beloved by many. But guys, David was just as much a sinner and is just as much human as we are. Listen to what Scripture says. It happened in the spring of the year, at the time when kings go out to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him and all of Israel, and they destroyed the people of Ammon and Besai and Rabab, but David remained in Jerusalem. Then it happened one evening that David arose from his bed and walked on the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman bathing, and the woman was very beautiful to behold. The woman was Bathsheba, the wife of one of his friends, guys, the wife of one of his leaders in his army. That's who Bathsheba was. And he gazed upon her and looked on her. He had that lust of the eyes. The lust of the eyes started to overtake him. I'm sure most of you all know the story. What happens, he ends up getting her pregnant. Since his friend not to die in battle, the child dies. Guys, the consequences of sin is death. The wages of sin is death. There are consequences for sin every single day. One of the consequences of David was he lost his child. See, that's the thing. When lust of the eyes takes over, then you start to give in the lust of the flesh too.
Amen.
These things work hand in hand a lot. These two work together more than any of the other two, lust of the flesh and lust of the eyes. Because when you desire the flesh, a lot of times you're going to see what you desire. A lot of times you're going to see that, and when you see that, that's when it starts to become a problem. Because how often do people say, seeing is believing? People want to see something to know it's true. That's the case with a lot of things. They want to see that what you're saying or what you're telling is true. That's just how it goes. When people see things, they tend to believe it and they tend to want to give into it more. So when they see a sin, when they see something that they desire, it becomes a whole different ballgame than when they just think about it. Let's move on. I've often said this many times, that this is the most dangerous thing to me, is pride. I think it is the most dangerous sin in the world. I think pride is terrible. When I teach a class on Tuesday nights for those who come, and one of the things that I taught on was being humble. Humble is the complete opposite of pride. And that's how we should act. We should be humble, not prideful. But when you're prideful, that's when things start to get really dangerous. So, going on, what is the pride of life? What is the pride of life? Why are we so proud? Why is that such a dangerous thing? What is the pride of life? The pride of life, what I define, is a temptation of excessive power. Basically, you're full of yourself. You think there's no one greater than I. There's no one like me. There's no one that can live up to me and be me. And that's the problem, guys. When you're too prideful, you're not humble. You don't see the things the way you should see them. You want to see them as something's all about me, 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 me. And see, that's the problem. Because when you're going into me, 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 you start to put God last.
Amen.
That's what happens. Because all of a sudden, you're the most important thing in life. So, examples is that. I just wrote a couple. Is the feeling of being more important than anyone else. Taking glory for what God or someone else did. There's wanting to build up an ego. There's just great examples of what the pride of life is. Now, what is I tried to find different things in the Bible. I found things that were warning against the pride of life, but I couldn't find anything cut blank that I thought was just perfect until I found something in Isaiah. And what's crazy is how I actually came across this in Isaiah is I was at the movies with Justin and his brother Travis, and we were debating on whether we thought or knew that Lucifer and Satan were the same person. I've asked several, and I reluctantly agree, and that was probably me being prideful, I'm sorry. I give in basically to them and say, yes, y'all were right. I thought Lucifer was a king, but that's just, I'm young, I'm 20, I got a lot to learn. Anyways, but when we were going over the scripture that I was finding, and I was trying to back up Satan to find where Lucifer is, it's in Isaiah. Isaiah 14, verse 14 says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, for I will be like the Most High. Yet you shall be brought down to Sheol, to the lowest depths of the pit. This is Satan. This is talking about the fall of Lucifer, is what this is talking about. So when Lucifer fell and when Lucifer became Satan, he wanted to be God. He was so prideful, he thought, you know what, I can be just as powerful as God. I can be just as an influence as God, which A lot of times he can be a big influence, but he's not God. It's a totally different thing. But like I was saying, is that this is a great example of pride because he had that desire in his heart, in his mind, that he wanted to be God. So when he wants to be God, he starts giving in to that sin of the pride of life. He starts getting proud, big of himself, like, I'm a big major thing. I can be something. I can be God. I can be his equal to God. We'll be his equals. And when he starts thinking that, what happens? He becomes a fallen angel, and we know the story from there. He becomes Satan as we know him. But that's a great example of the pride of life, because I think that's just as high as you can go to wanting to be like God. I don't know how anyone can ever compare himself to God, but believe it or not, I've heard several times of people saying, oh, he's a God at this, he's a God at that. Guys, there's only one God. He's not a God of football. I heard that several times in commentary that he's just a God in the pocket. No, he's not. He's great. He's a great football player, big deal, but he's not a God. There is only one God, and he is most high. He is sitting on the throne. He's not dressing up as a football player and throwing passes around. That's not who God is. So, I wanted to give a couple examples of what it means to give in. What does it mean to give in to these things? I told you that I wanted to go down to cut and dry what causes sin, what makes us sin. The example that I'm using is literally the very first sin. And I'm going to read it to you. This is for anyone who wants to turn there. It's in Genesis chapter 3, verses 1 through 7. It said, my Bible entitles this, The Temptation and the Fall of Man. Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, as God indeed said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat the fruit of trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. Then the serpent said to the woman, you will not surely die, for God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So when the woman saw the tree, that it was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree was desirable to make one wise, she took its fruit and ate it. She also gave some to her husband with her, and he ate it. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed leaves together to make themselves coverings. Guys, this is the very first sin. This is the first sin. This is the fall of man. This is why we are here. This is why there was a problem with sin. This is the first sin in using all three of these things. Literally all three of them. The flesh. What was the flesh of Eve when she had this problem? What was the flesh of Eve? It says, so when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, bingo, that it was good for food. She's hungry. She wants to satisfy that part of her that needs food. She wants to eat. She's hungry. She sees that it's good for food. It sees that it is something that can be digested, probably tastes good. I imagine it's pretty. I'm just assuming. I imagine it's pretty fruit. I don't think she'd see it's good for food. It'd be one of the ugly ones like the star fruit and all the weird ones that I see a lot of healthy people eating. Anyways, she sees that it's good for food. So she has that desire to eat it. And I'm not sitting up here telling you that it's a problem to eat. As you can see, I clearly love to eat. We have Bluebell Social. We're about to eat right after church. That's not the problem. The problem with it is God said not to do it.
Amen.
God said, if you eat from this tree, you will surely die. So therefore, when she eats from the tree, it is a sin. It is a falling short of God. So when she eats from the fruit, like I said earlier, the sin is any thought or action that falls short of the glory of God. There's the action. She ate of the fruit. So there's the case where the lust of the flesh takes over, and she has that problem, and she deals with the temptation, and ultimately falls into it. Move on to the second part. I said the lust of the eyes. Eve says right here that it was pleasant to the eyes and a tree desirable to make one wise. She sees it. She sees that it's pretty. She sees it's desirable to the eyes. There's the lust of the eyes. There's where the eyes take over. Like, it's got good food. I like to eat it. Wow, it's so pretty. My grandfather hates, and with a dying passion, the willow tree. I think they're beautiful. I love willow trees. He can't stand them. but I love them. And I'd like to have one. Anyways, we're not going to get too far into that, but I see it because I think it's really cool to look at. I think it's cool. I love how the limbs hang down and it gets the different leaves. I love how it looks. I think it's cool. But I'm not going to let it take over and be desirable to me. When Eve looks at this tree and sees that it's desirable, she has the lust in the eyes. Wow, I really do want this fruit. And like I said, the fruit probably wasn't ugly. She sees the fruit and is like, wow, that fruit is pretty cool looking. I bet it tastes good. It looks sweet. There goes the lust of the eyes take over. Now you have the lust of the eyes. And now you have the pride of, and now you have the lust of the flesh. And they're working together again, like I said. So what's the last one? What's the pride of life? What is the problem with her and the pride of life? It says, the woman saw that the tree was good for food, pleasant to the eyes, and a desire to make one wise. The serpent says that you will become like God when you do this. She gets prideful. I don't think it would that big of a deal to be wise. I don't think it would be a problem if I had that kind of wisdom. And why is that a problem? Because God said not to do it. That is why it is a problem. When God says not to do something, you don't do it. Now, like I said, you're going to sin and fall short of the glory of God every day. And there's consequences of sin. We all know the consequences of this sin. Thrown out of the Garden of Eden. Childbirth becomes less bearable. Man has to work. I'm not going to go too much into that. But guys, like I said, there's consequences for sin. But all three of these things worked together with the very first sin to even start this whole process that we're having to deal with. So, I've given you an example of what they all are. I've explained to you what they all are. And I've told you that this is the underlying cause of sin. So what happens when you don't give into it? What is an example of when you don't give into it? We're going to turn to Matthew. Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 through 11. And Jesus was led up by the Spirit of the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights afterwards, he was hungry. Now when the tempter came to him, he said, if you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread. But he answered, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Let's stop right there. He's hungry. He has fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. Guys, I can't go 40 minutes. And he's gone 40 days. That's terrible. I hate saying that, but see, he's hungry. And Satan comes to him and says, why don't you turn these stones to bread? Why don't you eat? You're hungry. And he says, man shall not live by bread alone. That is the difference there's a big difference between Jesus Christ and Eve. Jesus Christ, when he came here, he was human just like us. He was tempted just as much as we are. But he did not give in to the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. This is example. He did not give in to that lust of the flesh. He knew he was hungry. He knew he needed to eat. But he's not going to give in to it. He's not going to give in to what he knows will be wrong. Let's move on. Verse 5 says, then the devil took him into the holy city and set him on a pinnacle of the temple. And he said, if you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, he shall give angels charge over you, and in their hands they shall bear you up, and lest you dash your foot against a stone. And Jesus said to him, it is written, you shall not tempt the Lord your God. Why is this important? What is this? This is the pride of life. That's what this is. When he does this, he's not just going to throw himself down to be a witness to people. He's not going to perform the miracle just to show how superior that he is in this case. When Jesus performed miracles, it wasn't for show. It wasn't for anything like that. And that's what the devil is trying to get you to do. If you could fall off, angels are going to catch you. Why don't you do it? He does not give in to the pride of life. Yes, he's superior. Yes, he is sitting on the throne up high. Yes, he is. But he doesn't give into it and show his butt and try to be prideful about it. He doesn't give in to that. So what's the difference between him and Eve? He doesn't give in. He doesn't let that take over and take control of it. Last part. Again, the devil took him up on an exceedingly high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to them, all these things I will give you if you fall down and worship me. Then Jesus said to him, "Away with you, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only shall you serve." What's this, guys? This is the lust of the eyes. He sees these kingdoms and he said, "Oh, wow. You could have all this if you just worship me. You could have all this." Guys, that's the whole point of all of this. When I said you serve two masters at the beginning, you can give into Satan, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. You can give into that and you serve Satan. Or you cannot give into that and you serve God. So he says this thing. I love what he says. The first thing out of his mouth is, "Away with you, Satan." He says, "Get away from me. I have no interest here. I do not want to give into this. I'm not going to give into this." Like I was saying at the beginning, the world has a lot of things to offer. It can offer you incredible stuff, happiness here. But guys, that's not what it's all about. The happiness, the true happiness, and the true feeling that you get, that's in heaven. That's with God. That's with the glory on high. That's why he sent his son to die for us. While we can give into this all the time. A Christian means to be Christ-like. We're going to give into these things all the time. We're going to give in. We're going to give into the lust of the flesh. We're going to give into the pride of life. We're going to give into the lust of the eyes. We're going to do that. But the whole point of Jesus Christ was so that we can be forgiven about it. When he came down and sent his son to die for us, that made it to where, while these things are horrible things, when you can count, well, this is where sin comes from. Sin no longer has a cage on us. It no longer has us in chains. It no longer controls our life. Because Jesus Christ gave his life for us so that that doesn't happen. And like I said, the definition of a Christian is to be Christ-like. We've seen the example with Eve of how she gave into all these things. Now we see the example of Jesus Christ and how he did it. If the definition is to be Christ-like, why are we not using this as an example to get past what sin really is, to get past what causes sin? That is the whole purpose of being a Christian, is to be Christ-like. And I can't stress that enough, because a lot of times people say, "Well, I'm a Christian. Well, I go to church." I hear that so often. "Are you a Christian?" "I go to church." That doesn't make you a Christian. There's millions of people in church that aren't Christians. Being a Christian, we talked about this on Wednesday night when I led study. Being a Christian means that you are letting God control every aspect of your life, every single second of every single day. Not an hour a day in church. You can come in here and act all holy, and a lot of people probably say, "Wow, that's a good Christian person." But you get out there and you're so different. And that's a problem. When you get out there and you're so different, you're giving in to the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. I'm going to say this in closing. Last part of the verse. Last part of 1 John. As soon as I can get back to it. Last part of what I've been trying to get you guys. "And the world is passing away and the lust of it, but he who does the will of God abides forever." I'm not even going to say much after that. Because like I said from the beginning, Scripture can sometimes be point blank. And that's what it is. The world is passing away. Like I said, everything here is permissible, guys. That means the lust that we're dealing with every single day, that's permissible, guys. It's going to go away one day. But he who does the will of the Father abides forever. You're doing the works of God instead of the works of the flesh. That's the whole point. James says that faith without works is dead. So if you truly have Jesus Christ, if you truly have that faith, you're going to have works for him, not for the flesh, not for the eyes, and not for the pride of life. Let's close. Heavenly Father, I come to you now in prayer, Lord, and I just thank you for allowing me to deliver this message, Lord. I just ask that someone somewhere, if they need to hear this, Lord, they can hear this. I just thank you for all that you do and the blessings you bestow on me in this church. I ask, Jesus, that you be with us. Keep us faithful. Let us defeat this sin, Lord. Let us have that control over our life and no longer let Satan control us. Lord, we love you and we trust you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.